Hello everyone, I'm TG and welcome back to the House of Sleaze. Today I'm showing you a Spencer build that's going to give you unlimited bioenergy. This is basically a spin on the old Super Spam Spencer, but with a little bit of a lemon twist. This has some modifications to the gear and modifications to the deck that's going to make spamming all that much more fun. So let's take a look then, shall we? So to start things off with, I'm going with Generator. Now, they just nerfed Refract, and man, can you ever feel it. Generator is a great complement for spam builds because every time you use a card, your D-Field's cooldown gets reduced, and we're going to be blowing through cards like it's nobody's business. Next, I'm using Deadbolt, just because I'm not using any lockdown traps. I want to make sure I stall them as much as possible. And for his last skill, we're going with Symbiosis, which is going to reduce the cost of any of my cards after I use a card of a different type. So that's very important for getting the spam off as best as we possibly can. For his exclusive cards, I'm going with Invulnerability Anchor because I'm using a lot of creatures. And lastly, there's nothing like Hypercharge to really fill up a room and piss off survivors. So now onto the equipment, and this is where things start to diverge a little bit. I'm using Bioenergy Tank 2-in-1, Miniature Reactor, and Unstable Generator. This is going to make it so we have 20 Bioenergy without using the battery skill variant, and our bioenergy is just going to recharge non-stop, as well as getting a little boost to our biocores in Area 3. Now let's take a look at that deck, and it's a pretty standard Symbiosis deck if you've ever played that build before. We have the Double Zombie, Infectious Zombie, and the Tough Zombie, High Explosive Landmine, Airburst Trap, and Machine Gun, and then Discount, Energy Vapor Infection, and my two mods, Generator Mod Small, and Converter Mod Creatures. Now, the reason I'm using Infectious Zombie is sometimes I don't get the Vapor whenever I'd like to, but you could switch that out for pretty much any other creature that you want, even a Licker. So I'm going to show you guys a match I played earlier using this build, and my god, it was just pandemonium. There's nothing like a spam-filled room to just really bring a smile to your face. This is where the fun begins. Looks like we got a January, eh? I can smell the malware from here. And oh, baby Jill, you don't know what's in store. So the preset I'm using is actually my Licker preset. Don't use it as often as I used to, but it's pretty good for Symbiosis builds, and I also sometimes use it for my Nikolai builds. Now let's start loading up in here. Get things nice and misty. And there's Jill attacking a trap when there's a Licker on her tail. I just had to look away. I don't want to see the carnage. So they seem to be taking their time. And Jill's bursting on ahead like a Jill does, thinking that she's a speedrunner. Unfortunately, that is not going to work. Oh no, I meant to lock that in with you.
The sound of another closing. A child could have found that.
Yep, there's the malware. Oh, January. Well played. Oh dear.
You will not live much longer.
Now, typically this build usually doesn't start really rocking until Area 2 and Area 3. But if you're really lucky, you can actually stop things in Area 1. Just don't get discouraged if they plow through Area 1 though, because it's not typical to really shut them down early with this build. Now you might be wondering why I'm using bioenergy tanks whenever I never let my bioenergy go above 10. Well, the reason for that is Area 1, you're typically not going to see your bioenergy skyrocket like that. Area 2 and 3 is when you are. And mostly what I like is whenever I'm waiting in between spamming rooms or in between areas, my bioenergy is going to be recovering above 10, and that's really what I'm looking for. If you really wanted to, however, you could get away with switching out one of the bioenergy tanks for something else, namely creature HP. But it's really up to you. So thankfully Yorick has spawned up top, my favorite spot for him, and I'm going to try to catch them all in what I like to call the TG pincer. So we're going to start things off with invulnerabilitying these bad boys up here. And now we're just going to kind of wait and see what happens. So here they come. We're just going to lock the doors. Wait for them to go up top. Just have a little bit of fuckery. Waste some ammo, waste some time.
That was stupid.
Now, we want to force them all up top. Okay, there we go. So we'll anchor these guys. And we're going to wait until my anchor wears off here and probably drop a D field if I can get the timing and the position right. So the point of this is to really get them lured in and then split their focus. So they're trying to deal as best they can with that room up top, and now we're really going to start pushing them from behind. All we really need from that D field is to get one of them down, which we did, and the rest will start falling like a house of cards. No, January being bold like a January shouldn't, but they always do. So now that we've taken care of her, we'll just turn the light off and start the aggravation. They're just not going to be able to keep up with the spam.
Triggering your body's fear response.
So what I'm going to do here is actually, I want to lure them in, like I said. So I'm not going to put anything else down here, and we're going to let them have this terminal up top. That way we're luring them in with a false sense of security. We're just kind of going to mess around a little bit to make them think they got this in the bag, but really, you don't. You don't when you're dealing with a Spencer. If you ever think you're doing well, it's because Spencer wants you to think that.
Very well, take the security.
So I'm actually going to load up the bottom room because they're a little bit spread out, and spamming anything now is really not going to have a desired effect. Plus there's some malwares kicking around. So another thing to mention is, when this build goes bad, man does it go bad, but you can always recover in Area 3. Like I said, Area 2 and 3 is really where this build shines, but sometimes things just don't go as planned, and it looks like they're actually doing pretty well in Area 2, so they're going to end up getting to Area 3 with quite a lot of time, but I can guarantee you I will stop them in their tracks once Hypercharge comes into my hand. In the meantime, we're going to do our best. We're going to do our darndest. These malwares are just unbelievable. It's almost worth as a Spencer to always keep an electromag shield in your hand, just for the off chance that you play against a malware January. It's just really strong against Spencer. And the worst thing I can imagine just happened there, where I had to use two of the same card in a row. We just can't buy a bucket today. Now, a lot of the times with this build, what you're going to do is pretty much forfeit an area once you figure out, it's not going my way. And you have enough bioenergy to really move on anytime you want to and just restart your defense. Now, the last camera probably has malware, yep. And I have my D field. I haven't tested this, but I just needed to know. I needed to know if bioweapons go through the malware.
Trying to outsmart them.
Not the best match to do that on, you think, but I'm bold. I'm bold. I'm confident in my ability to turn this around in Area 3. So they got 7 minutes left. They're probably feeling pretty good about themselves. But as we all know, Area 3 can be a game changer for many a mastermind. I know I've lost to many masterminds in Area 3 whenever I thought I had things in the bag.
I can do about that.
So Casino is probably one of the best places to show off the bioenergy that I was talking about earlier, because you have to wait a while before you can do anything, and it's the perfect opportunity to let your bioenergy soar. And here comes the malware. So we're just gonna switch off and keep the party going.
Oh, gotta find more ammo.
I have eyes everywhere.
Well then.
I will find you again. Does the sound of their breath make you tingle with fear?
In case you guys didn't know, hypercharge and discount does affect your mod as well, so just keep that in mind. And now baby Jill, she thinks she's got it in the bag, but we're gonna show her this is where we make our stand. This is where we end things.
Your heart beats faster. Your breathing quickens. The virus stirs inside you.
Got D-field in my back pocket just in case. Now they're out there wasting their ammo, and that's exactly what I want them to do. Oh, that was a really poorly placed D-field.
Allow the fear to consume you.
As you can see by their health, they are straining for resources.
That was all you could muster. Pathetic.
So Jill's down. Let's load this room up like it's no one's business. Oh my. Just a complete bullet cocky for Valerie there. Alright, come on girls. Gather your forces. So I think Becca got a little bit worried there. She saw quite a few minutes to be shaving off the clock and she thought, okay, we really gotta get this going.
I need more ammo. Activated.
Oh, nice try, January, but not the time.
Really good try. Get near me and I'll kill you.
Does the sound of their breath make
So we got another Ivy there,
fear?
and we're gonna lock him in. And oh dear, things are unraveling fast now. Let's just jump in and start the party. You stop that malware, you dirty, dirty bitch. And we got another D-field already. We'll just lock things off here. Force them into an even smaller room. You don't have to worry too much about killing them with the D-field. I mean, that's great. But really, with the amount of spam that we're doing here, D-field doesn't have to be your finishing blow.
It's okay. Next time I'll get it. What?
Oh, damn malware. Well, they got that biocore, but I think it cost them. Oh, Jill, you can't escape. So it looks like that is all she wrote.
Counting down.
Valerie's life is just ticking away. Even if they do somehow manage to get up to the next biocore, it's not going to matter because we're just going to end up doing the exact same thing that we just did. And yeah. So that was Unlimited Power Spencer. Wasn't my best game, but really it's just to show you guys the complete and utter devastation that can come from this build. And it has so many different applications, it's a lot of fun to play. I encourage you guys to check it out. So as always, I'm TG. If you like what you saw, you know what to do. If not, keep it sleazy.
But I will have to...